You're listening to Inside Insanity on 91.3 FM CJTR. I'm here with voice actor Jess Harnell. Jess, welcome to Inside Insanity.
Good, man. Now there's a camera pointing at me. Is this audio or just video?
It's video and audio. It'll probably go on our website as well as it'll run on air.
Say, if you know how to put video on the radio, dude, you are way ahead of your time. That's very impressive.
Thanks. Now, with voice actors, a lot of times people don't know what they exactly look like. Do people, are they surprised at the rock star that comes out?
Oh, that's very sweet of you, man. Yeah, they generally think that I'm in Def Leppard or something like that. So then they show up and they go, you don't look like whoever. And I'm like, yeah, of course not, because if I did, I'd be a rabbit or something. But yeah, I think that's one of the beautiful parts about voice acting, though, is that you can play, I mean, in a typical day, I'll play an 8-year-old kid and a 75-year-old woman and a dog and an announcer. And it's like, that's the great part about it. You're not limited by anything except what kind of sounds you can make, you know?
And
which, depending on what I had for dinner, are either a lot or a little.
So can we have some proof that you do the voices?
Who do you want to hear, man? You throw something at me. What do you want?
Well, from Facebook, somebody said you do a good Ray Charles.
Ray Charles? I've never heard about doing Ray Charles. But hey, mama, don't you treat me wrong. Come and love your daddy all night long here right now. Hey, hey, all right, give me what I say. There's something like that. There you go. I was just off the top of my head. I've never even done Ray Charles before, but that was one. There you go.
And you do a killer Steve Perry.
Yes, I do a killer
with Rock Sugar.
Yeah,
so tell how
Rock Sugar.
Oh, of course I do.
Great,
how did I play it all the time?
Oh, good, man.
How did Rock Sugar originate?
Rock Sugar originated because me and the guys in the band, this is no lie, the fake story is that we were on an island for 20 years. The real story is that we were on an island for a week. And while we were there, I just thought it would be a funny idea if some quintessential 80s hair metal band got stuck on an island for 20 years with nothing but pop records from the 80s to listen to and then got rescued. So basically you've got these metal guys who think that Madonna is the epitome of metal at this point. So in Rock Sugar, we take all your favorite metal songs from that era and, you know, put them together with all the best pop songs of that era. So you basically get your AC/DC and your Madonna and your Metallica and your Journey at the same time. We're like the Reese's peanut butter cup of metal.
Now, speaking of that, I heard that some of the voices are a little too close for comfort.
Ah, yes, there's one in particular, but I don't want to. I can't.
You don't have to name the band, but what happened with that?
Well, there's just, you know, it's a funny thing because, you know, being an impressionist and a voice actor, I do impressions. And on the Rock Sugar record, what's really kind of fun is I got to imitate everybody. I got to imitate everybody from Axl Rose to Steve Perry to James Hetfield of Metallica to Def Leppard's Joliet, did I say that already? Just everybody you can think of from the Bryan Adams, everybody. And I got to imitate them all, which was really great. And it turned out very, very well. But one of these cats heard the record and literally thought that my voice was his voice, which I guess is a good thing, but it also complicated things because he tried to sue us for using his voice without permission, and then we proved that it was not in fact his voice, but he still said, you know what, it sounds too close to my voice and I'm not going to withhold my copyright approval for you to sell my songs. So that was the problem, but we wish him well, and he's a great guy. There you go. Right, Mike? Yeah.
You also based Wakko on a Beatle. So what was the decision there?
It was a funny thing, man. I was doing auditions and for Animaniacs, which was the first big series that I got, and they knew I did impressions, so they said, throw out some impressions, man. Who do you got? And I started doing different things. I even did Elvis, which would have been a very different Wakko than he turned out to be. He goes, hello, nurse, man. Would have sounded weird, you know. But I was going through the list, and they said, you do the Beatles, right? And I said, yeah. Which one? Because I always loved doing all 4 of the Beatles. And I think originally when they started, he was closest to Ringo, you know, was more down here, and then later on he became really more John, I think, and then they started saying, well, what if he was in puberty? So his voice went up a little higher, and this is what we ended up with.
And what made Animaniacs work and connect with the audience? Was it how self-aware it was, or what do you think?
These are good questions, man. No, they're very good questions. I think the reason that it worked so well, you know, it's like remember the show The Honeymooners back in the 50s? There was a great show with Jackie Gleason, and they asked him once upon a time, they said, why do you think The Honeymooners last? Why do you think people still like it? And he said, because they're funny. And it's the same kind of thing with Animaniacs. They really paid attention in that show, which unfortunately, you know, I'm still blessed every single day, man, because I work all the time. I work on lots and lots of cartoons. But, you know, being objective about life, some of them are better than others. Some are just done better. Animaniacs, the attention to quality was so high, and they tried so hard to make it great, that with the team of people they assembled, there was really no way for it not to be great. They had the best writers and the best musicians and the best songwriters, and I was just really lucky and blessed to be part of it, man. That's the truth.
And which character do you think you've done that's sort of closest to you?
In terms of voice or attitude?
Voice, attitude. Which one has your personality shined through more than any else?
Well, let's see. There's you know, what's really cool is there's a lot of times after the fact, you know, because when a show is new, you never really know what to expect with it. But after the show develops and maybe even becomes very popular, at a later date, you can kind of go, You know, I'm glad I played that character. If I could have chosen back then, knowing now how it would turn out, I would have chosen the character that I got to play. And I'm fortunate because that's happened a lot. I would say that the two characters that I identify with the most, it's Wakko from Animaniacs, because all he wants to do is have a good time, and I can relate to that. And then there's a Christian radio show that I do called Adventures in Odyssey, where I play a character named Wooten, and he's basically, I guess he's in his mid-30s, but he's never really grown up, and he's just got a very innocent worldview, and he's very kind to people, but people kind of don't know what to make him because he's kind of weird, but he's cool. And it's the same kind of thing with the folks here. I think that people at Comic-Con, it's kind of funny because in their communities or in their own lives, they may be sort of misfits in their own way, but they come here and they totally belong, you know, and they're totally like among their people and people who understand them. And I think that's very sweet, you know.
And what do you get from the cons?
Oh, well, I get to meet a lot of people dressed in spandex. I get to shake hands with dinosaurs, and I get to meet a lot of nice people who, this is honestly the best part about it, you know. I don't have any delusions about what we do when we do voice acting, but I do know, I mean, it's not brain surgery and it's not curing any disease, but it makes people happy. And if at the end of the day, when you do these things, you meet several people, sometimes several hundred people, who just want to say thanks for making me happy, you can go to bed at night with a smile, you know, because it's like there are worse things in life.
And just a couple quick ones, just no right answers on these ones, but because you're at a con, I need to test your geek cred. So what was the last video game you played?
Oh, good luck. See, I don't play video games.
Okay. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Well, that's a trip, man. William Shatner's my neighbor, but he thinks I'm Gene Simmons. So Mark Hamill is my buddy.
Wait, what?
Yeah. William Shatner thinks I'm Gene Simmons. He asked my neighbor if I was in Kiss, the guy on the other side of me, and he said yes. So Shatner calls me Gene. He walks by and goes, "Oh, Gene, how's it going?" You know, and stuff like that, which is pretty entertaining. But Star Wars or Star Trek? I gotta go with Star Wars because I never really watched the Star Trek series, and I'm also good friends with Mark Hamill, and I like Mark, and he doesn't think I'm Gene Simmons, so I'm gonna give it to him.
Okay, 80s or 90s music?
80s.
And Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, or Freakazoid?
Well, being, you know,
All territory being what it is, they're all fine shows, but I've got to go with Animaniacs because it paid my mortgage for a long time.
All right, and what's next up for you?
oh my gosh, dude, I'm really, again, just blessed inordinately. I have these new shows that I'm doing. I'm on a show called Doc McStuffins for Disney that's a huge hit. I'm on another one called Sophia the First, also for Disney, huge hit. I'm still announcing America's Funniest Videos for the last 13 years, which is fantastic. Rock Sugar's touring the world, you know, getting married, everything is a groove, man, and all I can do is pray that it continues the way it is because it's fantastic.
Jess Harnell, thank you very much for being on Inside Saturday.
Talk to you, man. Thank you for being prepared and having such insightful questions. I appreciate it.